Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here, answering your questions today. Today's question is on adjusting to the curveball and how to do it. So we're going to really delve into that today. Before we get started, today's video is sponsored by Rocket Sports. Rocket Sports makes top quality baseball equipment. We use a bunch of their stuff for our Antonelli baseball teams. So definitely check them out. If you go to the link below and click there, you guys can receive 15% off of your order at Rocket. You can also go to rocket.com to check out their stuff. So definitely do that. Okay, adjusting to the curveball. All right, how many times have you heard, right? Put in the comment section below, how many times have you heard somebody say, hey, sit fastball, adjust the curve. Sit fastball, adjust the curve here, right? You've probably heard it 8 million times, all right? I've never said it in my life. I never say sit fastball, adjust the curve. Unless you're playing at like a super, super low level where they're throwing very slow and their curveballs are like thrown like this and their ephus pitches. It's very hard to sit fastball and adjust the curve, and I'm never really going to do that anyway. So let's talk about ways that you can adjust the curve or how you should approach the curveball, okay? The first thing is, for me, you've got to sit on, again, depending on the level. We've talked about this before, sitting on, sitting fastball. But if we're going to talk about curveball, for me, you want to sit on what you're going to get, okay? So that's typically going to be a fastball, okay? So let's start with that before we get into the curveball talk. Typically, it's going to be sitting on a fastball, right? Pitcher throws fastball more than anything else. Depending on the count, if you're ahead in the count or even in the count, you're probably going to sit in a fastball. You practice hitting fastballs all the time. And so it's a good idea to sit fastball, okay? Now, you don't always have to sit fastball, all right? There are some times where, depending on your level again, depending on the information, the scouting of the opposing pitcher, if you feel like he throws curveballs, again, we're talking curveballs here, so if you feel like he throws a lot of curveballs in a certain count, maybe he's always throwing 2-0 curveballs, maybe he's always throwing 0-0 curveballs, and you want to sit on the curveball there, then I think that that's perfectly fine. What I always tell players is when you pick a pitch to sit on, if you don't get that pitch, you have to take it unless there's 2 strikes, okay? So that's why when you're talking about adjusting to curveballs, all right, the first thing is, if I'm sitting fastball, if it's 2-0 or 0-0 or 1-0, whatever the count is, and it's not 2 strikes, and I'm sitting fastball and I'm getting ready for a fastball, I'm anticipating a fastball, and all of a sudden I get ready, I'm thinking fastball, and that's a breaking ball, it's a curveball, it's something else. I just take it. I'm not going to try to adjust to the curveball in that situation for me, okay? Because like I said, you can't sit on everything. If you're trying to be ready for everything, or if you're trying to sit on everything, you're ready for nothing. You can't sit on a fastball and then adjust to a curveball and a changeup and a knuckleball and a splitter. There's too many pitches. The pitchers are too good. You can't do that. Okay, so that's why people talk about adjusting to a curveball. Let's talk about the count. If you're up in the count or even in the count, you're not really going to adjust. You're not going to look for one pitch fastball and then adjust to the curveball very often. Okay? Now, sometimes, maybe you are sitting on a fastball and they just throw a hanger in there. It's a really poorly located pitch, and you're able to adjust to it. That's one thing. But if it's a good breaking ball, it's going to be really hard to sit on a fastball and adjust to the curveball, okay? So when we're talking about adjusting, yeah, you can go ahead and sit on that pitch if you think you're going to get it. I saw Manny Ramirez do it an awful lot in his career. I've seen a lot of guys do it. But you'll see Manny get up there, right? And he looks like he's really on a breaking ball, and he just destroys this ball, and everyone says, wow, look at how he adjusts to that curveball. In my opinion, most of those times, he's probably sitting on the breaking ball, all right? Whether the scouting report told him so, or he's faced the guy a bunch of times before. It also depends on what type of hitter you are. So if you're a middle-of-the-order hitter, if you're a 3-hitter, a 4-hitter, if there's guys on base, they're probably not going to just lay you in fastball. So maybe then your adjustment is to adjust, not to adjust to the curveball, but to sit on a curveball or sit on a different pitch. There's been times I've talked to a lot of hitters where they'll go up there, where some guys will sit fastball every pitch. They'll go up there and sit breaking ball every pitch until they get the 2 strikes. And so they're sitting there and they're just waiting for the breaking ball. And if they get a fastball, they take it. But if they get a breaking ball, boom, they hammer the thing because they're sitting on it. And again, those are usually the times that people go, wow, look at the way he adjusts to that breaking ball. He must have been sitting fastball, adjusting to the curve. Probably not. He was probably sitting on the curveball and spitting on everything else. And he got the curveball. He knew he was going to get one eventually, and he finally got one, and then he hammered it. All right. So again, you've got to be a really good hitter. You have to know the situation. You have to know the type of hitter you are. You have to know what the pitcher, what his tendencies are, and then you've got to be able to hit the breaking ball. Okay. I say that a lot to guys also about, sitting on off speed. If the guy's got an absolute filthy slider, like, I probably don't want to sit on it, because even if I sit on it and I get it, I probably still am not going to hit it. Okay. So that's another part of it, is knowing what the pitcher, what type of pitches he has, and these pitches I want to sit on. All right. So now that we've talked about all that, the one time I will say that you've got to be able to adjust, not just sit on, but adjust to the curveball, is with 2 strikes. Okay, that's really when the adjusting comes into play, because now obviously I can't just sit on one pitch and if he throws something else, just say, no, I'm going to take that because I'm out if it's a strike. Okay, so I've got to be able to adjust to off-speed pitches. I've got to be able to adjust to slower pitches than the fastball. So for me, the best way to do it is, we talk about, I'll do this all from a right-handed hitting perspective. I'm looking to drive the fastball through the second baseman's head. I'm looking to hit a hard line drive or a hard ball through the right side of the field. For me to do that, I'm going to have to let the ball travel a little bit more. I'm going to hit the ball a little bit deeper in the hitting zone, okay? So I'm thinking about seeing the ball longer, seeing it a little bit deeper, and driving the fastball over there. Now, if he throws me a breaking ball, because I'm trying to hit a fastball deep here, right? I'm going to hit a fastball back here. If it's a breaking ball, well, now I've got time to be able to get my bat head out front. All right, and I can hit the breaking ball out front, and I can pull the breaking ball. So for me, that's adjusting to the off-speed pitch, adjusting to the breaking ball. I think hit the fastball that way, and then I adjust by, oh, here comes the breaking ball. I'm not thinking get my bat head way out here on the fastball, right? Because if I think hit the fastball out here, and now it's a breaking ball, well, then my bat's over here by the time the breaking ball is over the plate, because the breaking ball is slower, obviously. Right, so that's how I can adjust. 2 strikes. Fastball that way, pull the breaking ball. Okay? If I'm a lefty, right, I think about driving the fastball through the shortstop, right through this way. Fastball there, pull the breaking ball. All right? So for me, that's adjusting to the off-speed pitches. That's adjusting to curveballs. And again, that's 2 strikes. Early in the count, sit on what you're going to get, or sit on a fastball. Get ready for the fastball, drive the fastball, get the 2 strikes, then we can adjust. Okay? Forget about sit on that fastball, adjust to the curveball. I'm going to Georgia in a couple weeks, and I'm going to probably hear that 4,000 times, and that's just the way it is, I guess. So anyways, thanks for your questions. Hope this helps you guys out. Let me know if you have any more in the comment section below. Don't forget to let me know how many times you've heard sit on the fastball, adjust to the curve. What else? Check out the description box below. We've got a bunch of stuff down there for you guys to check out. We've got a deal going on with Plate Crate. We've got, well, actually, I should explain that some more. If you click on the link below, type in Antonelli, you get 50% off your first Plate Crate. Pretty good deal. We've got a link to our Patreon page where you can support the channel. We've got a bunch of other stuff, so definitely go check all that stuff out. And that's all I got. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.